Aha! And good evening. You are tuned into the quarter hour with Sid Yiddish. This is week 22. Uh, you've tuned into the quarter hour with Sid Yiddish. This is week 22. We've been at this since, I've been at this since early August, mostly poetry, quips, and stories, and shout outs, and bedtime story kind of show. Um, Welcome. This is the last week, and um, the new year is upon us in 3 days. On December 32nd, it will be the uh, new month of January, but it's December 32nd. Uh, yeah, okay. I know you don't believe that, but okay. So here we are. National. Go to the National Day calendar first, and I'm right now. And today, in National Day calendar history, it is National Hero Day. So, if you haven't done it already, or you can do it, or you have a friend who might be a hero perhaps, and he doesn't necessarily have to be a fireman or a policeman uh, or a serviceman. It can be your father, or your mother, or your husband, or your wife, or your brother, or your sister, or your child, or your aunt, your uncle, nephew, cousin. One of your friends could be a hero to you. So just say to them thanks. Just thanks for what you've done. And it is also National Pepper Pot Day, which I think pepper pot is some kind of stew, or somebody will definitely correct me on that. Um, and this is also TikTok Day, and it's not like the TikTok, like the app where the people do silly things or pretend to want to give you money or something. TikTok Day is the day that you sort of finish out all that unattended business that you forgot about the entire year. And it's also, if you haven't given yet at the office or to some non for profit or somebody else's pocket or a Salvation Army or, the policeman's ball, so you get less tickets. That's if you drive. Or jaywalking, depending on how you look at it. This is the day to do it because the next couple days pretty much it's all slack and it's all downhill from here. All right, so let's see, where do we go? Oh, yes, uh, birthdays. It is birthdays. This is the birthday of my favorite living poet, his wife. Happy birthday, Andrea Heine. If you're watching, tuning in, hello. I know your husband is. Hi, Wes, even though I can't see you. Um, anyway, this is, yeah, so happy birthday to Andrea. I hope you're having a great day there in Los Angeles. Of course, it's snowing here in the Midwest. That's nothing new. I guess we've been hurting for it, and we should be hurting for it. It's a major winter storm. I know here in Evans, they say 4 to 6. I'm not excited. Oh, who's here? Well, hello there, Chip Nipple, and hi, Mary, and hi, Ellery. How are y'all doing? Um, so, um, as is with poetry, this is the poetry, and I'd like to start off with this one. This is one of mine, and this one is Hello, Dina, how are you? And this one, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this one is one of mine, and this one's called Fat Boy. Fat Boy. Fat Boy. Boy, is he fat? Fat size circus tent. Fat ass. Fat as in pleasingly plump. Overweight. heavy weight, heavy freight, heavy load, hot and heavy. He's so heavy. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Fat, fat, fat. Can you pinch an inch, fat boy? Aw, look, he has leftover baby fat. Pig, piggo, piggy. Everywhere there's lots of piggies. From size 32 to 42 in a matter of years, held hostage by my own worst fears. Hey, look at the fat kid run. Ha ha, look at the fat. Hey Tubby, hey Chubby. Overeating through diets, and even though the label says light, just like the beer you drink, the popcorn you chew, and the meat you eat, chowing down on half the calories doesn't count, especially if you hoard more than the proportions. More light is fat. Now, just imagine that. I'm a full-figured man looking for a megaton woman with fat tits and a giant pussy galore, because that's all I ever get. No slim girl have I ever met has ever been that nice, and it all ends up to calling me fatso. Time after time after time. Hey, are you living off the fat of the land? Jumbo the elephant, Jumbo the elephant, elephant tushy said. All I ever heard was slim and trim at age 16. Trimmed corned beef, dietetic jello, dietetic chocolate birthday puddings with a candle in the middle. At age 26, when my mom asked me, what is it most that I would like? Mark my words, make no mistake. A chocolate frosted candle glowing calorie inflated birthday cake. Society thumbs their noses at a pretty fat girl holding roses, unlike the skinny fashion whore who can slip off her skirt faster like some slim ballet master. Been fat boy slimmed, fat so ghosted, fat swallowed, and fatty arbuckled. Had my share of Minnesota fats and all those stupid references to fat cats. Tired of those jokesters who ask me, how long have you been pregnant? Just for once, I sure wish I could be somebody's teddy bear. Oh, to be loved by someone who doesn't care what I look like and doesn't believe that it's a sin that I have so much stretched skin. Fat? So? And that's a poem I wrote about 20 years ago. It's called Fat Boy. Let's see. Let's move right along. Move right along here. Ah, yes. Where is that poem? Yes. Okay. Okay. This is a poem. This is a local poet. She's a local poet, writer, great friend. This is a poem by Dina Stuart, and this one's called On the Cliff. On the cliff where the blackberry bush grew, the child would lick her hands and in a panic throw herself forward, catching the branches of the bush. The whir of the disturbed bees could be heard above her. Mother's angry voice, she would swing her tiny body up and grasp the trunk of the bush with her limbs while the limbs of the bush poke at her delicate skin like 1,000 red-stained needles. She would hang like this upside down, watching clouds pass above her until the sound of her mother's voice changed from a booming thunder into a distant plea. Then, and only then, would she pull her frail torso up from the bush, swing forward precariously onto the edge of the cliff, and run breathlessly through the field behind her house, searching for a safer hiding place. And that was called On the Cliff, and that was by Dina Stuart, who lives in Chicago, last I recalled. Okay. Next one, I would like to move on to Now this next person is a poet, writer, songwriter, singer, comedian from Hollywood, California. And then, of course, I'm talking about Eileen Weiner. And I'd like to read these two poems tonight. And first one's called Vanguard. The vanguard now, the twitch of a finger decides if I cease to exist or linger. I tweet thus, I am a head to be taxed, and so I consume, and those are the facts. We're digital now, one dimension gone, words melt, emojis live on. Hieroglyphics in this new age, a heart for love, a frowny face for rage. And that was a poem called Vanguard. And this one is called Confessional. I wish there were 25 hours in the day, every day of the week, so I could love you 24-hour and have one left for me. I wish there were 24 hours in the daytime, 24 in the nighttime too, so I could love you twice as much as I do. I wish that there were 14 days until a week was done. Then I could love you even more and still have time for fun. But oh, the days flow swiftly by. There is no fairy dust. I'll love you, dear, forever. But forever is not enough. And that was called Confessional, and that was by poet, writer, singer-songwriter, comedian Eileen Weiner, and she lives in Hollywood, California. And now I would like to move. Let's see here. No, sir. Yes. Okay. I would like to move right along to my. This is a poem by my great friend. He was my running mate in 2016 and 2020. Great poet, writer. I'm talking about none other than Charles Bukakke, and this is called Testament of Faith. If God is forgiving, as they say, he'll be sure to excuse us this infraction, and religion will finally be pulling its weight if it will help us get some action. Christian, Muslim, Hindu or Jew, you know what you have to do. No love is more sweet and holy than when you use a house of worship to screw. Let tube steak be the host for this commotion of the divine. At least we're not molesting children for our good time. In the confessional or through a sheet, biblical knowledge is very sweet. And that was a poem called Testament of Faith. A poet, writer, and scholar, also my vice presidential running mate in 2016 and 2020, Charles Bukakke. And from Charles Bukakke, we move right along to, yes. We move, move right along. Something about looking up my nose, Mary. Maybe you need to reposition your focus too, because from what I can see, I'm sort of in the center, but I'm a little further away. Anyway, this poem, actually song, seems appropriate, granted the coming New Year, which starts on December 32nd. Um, and this is a this is by a Mykel Board, who's a was is a columnist, author, writes haiku. Uh, he's my adopted uncle, and he's many, many other things to me. Elder statesman of the punk scene in New York City. And this is really a my favorite song of his, and it's called "Beer is Better Than Girls Are." Once there was a girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was good. She was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. No matter how cunning her stunts, with a girl there's that time of the month. Beer stains wash out, beer's not late. It never says no to a date. The label comes off with no fight. It doesn't say headache tonight. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. When you're out with the boys at a bar, a beer will wait in the car. It's never a cause for dismay. When your beer is flat, you just toss it away. A beer will always give you good head. It goes down easy in bed. A frigid beer you want to get. You know it will still be wet. And jealousy you never will fear when you go grab another beer. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. Boys at a bar, in the car. It won't be shy or take offense. A beer will let you share it with friends. Handle it, it won't say stop it if you're the first to pop it. Drinking a beer is always fun. You need to ask if it has come. When all else fails, it's understood. You don't have to wash it before it tastes good. Beer is better than girls are. I don't care where their little curls are. When you're out with the boys at a bar, a beer will wait in the car. A beer will wait in the car. A beer will wait in the car. And that was called Beer is Better Than Girls Are by Mykel Board, a columnist, author, writer, as well as writing haiku, elder statesman of the New York punk scene, my adopted uncle, and many, many, many other things. He could be my hero, really, if I thought about it, and I did think about it. So definitely he's my hero. And you actually all of you are my heroes in one form or another. Okay, moving right along. Um, okay. So this is it's a different kind of book here. So you can't really see this. So I'm going to read 3 poems from my local friend, poet and writer. He's more of a poet. His name is Henry Evans, and these are all untitled poems, although I'd have to say they're more like a combination of poems and haikus, and they're all untitled. And this first one goes like this. A shred of doubt casts a shadow a million miles, long travesty of entrapment, the Sphinx lesson of apathy, numeral roulette, countered by passionless jesters, narcotic notions, pathetic persons, monocyte menstruation, ushers unknown. This one goes like this. A shred of doubt cast a shadow a million miles, long travesty of entrapment, the Sphinx lesson of apathy, numeral roulette, countered by passionless gestures, narcotic notions, pathetic persons, monocyte menstruation, ushers unknown. So I guess that the second version was kind of like the first one, but it's just the reworking of it. So that's okay. So I might read an extra one. This one is called Taux, Taux. It's actually a title to it. Negatory, brash, repentance, sensual, calumnies, salter pon in dun formis collins hone, bibel socle hees. And this is actually one as a title. It's called Written. Yet undocile text and dove storms continue in my brain. Destroyed the wind, no pigeon can oink. Useless stratus, clouded vision. And were poems by my good friend, local writer and poet Henry Evans, and that is from his sort of self-titled book that he has. He hasn't published it, but anyway, I'd also want to change it up a little bit tonight. A couple of things. So no Emily Dickinson tonight, and no no Yeats tonight, but I'm going to pull something from Blake. So I'm going to read a couple poems from Blake. So I will try to read some of these. So first series. So I can't see. I guess I'm going to have to do it this way. Try to move it that way. Never seek to tell thy love, love that never told can be, for the gentle wind does move, silently, invisibly. I told my love, I told my love, I told her all my heart. Trembling, cold, and ghastly fears, she doth depart. Soon as she was gone from me, a traveller came by, silently, invisibly. Oh, was no deny. I laid me down upon a bank where love lay sleeping. I heard among the rushes dank, weeping, weeping. Then I went to the heath and the wild, to the thistles and the thorns of the waste. And thy told me how thy beguiled, driven out, and compelled to be chased. And that's it. That's for Blake. And those are from Verses and Fragments. It's a new book I actually got. I got it from my local free library, there's a ton of them around me. There's one around the corner from where I live going east, and there's one in front of me, basically across the street going north. Free libraries are good things because they bring us good books, new joys, new adventures. Sometimes we find little things in these libraries. So yeah. So back to the poetry. Yeah. So I'd like to introduce a new poet into the mix. He was my roommate for 4.5 years. He taught me everything I need to know about performance art before getting my master's at Columbia. And he's a poet in his own right, a performer, singer, songwriter, actor, dancer, movement guy, contact improv, occupational therapist, and he lives in Olympia, Washington. And I'm, of course, talking about no one other than my good friend, and sometimes I feel like he's a brother to me. Um, and of course, I'm talking about Noam Paco Gaster. And, uh, and this is a poem of his, and it's called We Are Amazing Inventions. Ah. You got a big old belly, and you use it to digest the food that you eat. The way you assimilate the things you ate, I think that's kind of neat. You stand about 5'9", and though the sun don't shine into your large intestine, you're an amazing invention. I got some hair that grows. Sometimes it even goes down past my knees. I know a grocery store where we can get some more mozzarella cheese. I have the privilege to cross a bridge and admire its suspension. I'm an amazing invention. We all have challenges we try to transcend. Maybe we want to eat some termites, but our dreams are not manifesting. Well, we can take a twig and use it to dig inside the termite mound, and then we can lick the termites that stick to the tool we just found. You can eat the ants, and then while you dance, feeling their yummy infestin, you're an amazing. We can have an orgasm and infuse our protoplasm with partnership and love. We can get kind of old, and if our hands get cold, we can always knit a warmer glove. Oops. Sorry. We can plan so tomorrow there'll be enough to swallow and encounter with all our digestions. We are amazing inventions. We've got a mind that can choose to absorb all the news, and we ask all kinds of questions. We are amazing inventions. And that's a poem by Noam Paco Gaster, and that was called We Are Amazing Inventions. And all I'm going to say to that is indeed, indeed we are. Oh, yes, yes, oh, yes. And now we get down to last poet of the night before I hit the storyboard book. This is, of course, by singer-songwriter, poet extraordinaire, um, great friend of many, and living in the city of Los Angeles, California. Of course, I'm talking about my friend, good friend, Wes Heine. And this is part 2, pretty long poem of his called The Silent Auction. So it goes like this. Small talk, as interesting as the wind, the boss wants yes men. The wife is sick of your stories, and your friends think they know you better than you know yourself. Like a worn-out joke. It was funny, now it's just true. And all the things we plug our aching mouths with. Pacifiers and candy, cigarettes and joints, tits and junk food, kisses after an argument, phalluses and toes, bottles and thumbs to fill the void, to hush the voices within. The cliches roll in our jaws like an invisible ventriloquist. Old expressions fall out our lips like cud. All the music is growing softer. The great films are fading like burning leaves. I remember us wild boys and our smart cracking months. Now silence with drugs, paranoia, work, and exhaustion. But we must keep getting out there. Have to be social. Everything starts with the same points. Where are you from? Where did you go to school? What do you do for a living? Any leads? Any answer leads to a list of assumptions, as if these things define who we are. All parrot talk, or worse. They always ask about sports. I either pretend an interest or tell them the truth. I don't follow sports. See their faces slowly sag and their eyes fade. The world could be ending or the house on fire and people would be watching sports. Well, here's what I do, since you asked. I'm hired to read a script to pissed off customers in a call center. I'm wired up to the whole country. Every state has its own brand of redneck. All work, no play inspires me to write cliches like all work and no play. Losing my voice as a writer, literally losing my voice on the phone all day. Losing my voice, screaming it out raw at night. Shivering up my spine runs repressed embarrassment. All my misplaced words play on repeat forever. Pictures of angel fangs flashing at orgasm, echoes of children teaching the same dirty jokes every generation. A tidal wave of vaporized moments push time forward. Skeletons march animated by the sun. Hear the sizzle of heartbeat rhythms, rumors, fantasies, parables, superstitions, ghetto wisdom, backwoods witchcraft, jingles, ancient codes encrypted in farts, death wishes cooking in flesh. Approaching middle age. Approaching middle age. I'm starting to go with it. I lean into the silence. I don't want to hear the world either. I am flattened. I think, what is the point in saying anything? All echoes in the void. Words have meanings, then double meanings, then more wrong. If it isn't buzzwords and cult-like positivity, it is ignored. If the world doesn't want to hear my point of view, then it is the world's loss. I'm strong and silent at last. Nightmare. An auction house. The auctioneer is hairless. He wears a tuxedo with a red bow tie. He has scars like a burn victim. His mouth is sealed over. The people in the audience raise their paddles to bid. I cannot see over them to view what is being sold. But it's a new day. Wake up, America, and smell the garbage islands. The orchestra churns silently in our pulse. Time goes by as fast as it always has. Only our perception changes. The mirror is speeding up. The great red spot of Jupiter winks. The average height of the person is going up. They are keeping teeth on neck laces. Bootleg albums of silence sell on street corners. People in shadows make love to the sound of whales humming in the apocalypse. Humming the apocalypse. For some religion gives absolution. When God has all the answers, they leave life up to him and stop questioning. Then vows of silence, meditation, middle paths, shrugs beyond opinions. But it's a new world. There is nowhere left to explore except outer space and inner space. Off to the races! America, the middle of everywhere, the front lines of nowhere, the orgies of the heartland. Read that again. The front lines of nowhere, the orgies of the heartland. It hums like the static on my corporate phone. This Tower of Babel begins to sound like white noise, like a bell that never rang. Like before the Big Bang, like the sun forgotten, like peace at last, the perfect silence sold. And that, my friends, was The Silent Auction by, of course, poet, writer, singer-songwriter. Great friend. I think I said good friend before, but really he's a great friend. and I've known him for 16 years. And he means a lot to me. He really does. And he's a great storyteller, especially with his narrative. Knows how to find those words. That, of course, is Wes Heine from the book, unpublished book, Sugar Skull Poems and Flash Fiction. We'll hear more from Wes next week, as we will every other poet that I've read tonight, including yours truly. So now we get to the meat of the situation here, and this, of course, is our story for the week. And hopefully next week we'll get back to Emily Dickinson and Robert William Butler Yeats. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Okay, so it is that kind of week where everything kind of, I don't want to say levels off, but we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. And so I thought I would read somebody who really I like from time to time and recently found again. Book before, but I like it enough where I want to read it again. And this is called Dr. Seuss's ABC, and that's the book, and I got this at a free library. I think I got that one across the street from me, from where I live. And that's the book. It kind of goes like this. Big A, little a, what begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator, A. Big B, little b, what begins with B? Barber, baby, bubbles, and a bumblebee. Big C, little c, what begins with C? Camel on the ceiling, C. Big D, little d. David, Donald, dude, donuts, and a duck dog too. Is it right there? There's his dream, I think. That's his dream right there. A, B, C, D, E. Egg, elephant, E. Big F, little F. 4 fluffy feathers on a fifer, pfeffer, feff. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Goat, girl, goo goggles, G. Big H, little h, hungry horse, hey. Hen in a hat. Hooray! There's the hen in the hat. It's almost like the cat in the hat. You can see that? Tilt it up. Okay, there we go. Big I, little I. Ichabod is itchy. So am I. Looks like he's itchy in the tuchus. That's what it looks like. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like he's itchy there. Not sure. Maybe he's itchy in the back. I'm not sure. Big J, little J, what begins with J? Jerry Jordan's jelly jar and jam began that way. Big K, little K, kitten, kangaroo, kick a kettle, kite, and a king's kerchoo. Big L, little Lola lop, left leg lazy lion licks a lollipop. Oops, there we go. Oh, this is really my favorite one. Big M, little m, many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Here are those mice in the moonlight. It's actually a henchman composition, Mice in the Moonlight. Came exactly from this book. Of course, M is for Mykel, and F is for Flaherty. So, just thought I'd say that. And C is for chipped. And oh, the next one's coming. N. Big N, little n, what begins with N? 9 new neckties and a nightshirt and a nose. And you know what also begins with N is nipple, as in chip nipple, of New York. That's correct, right? O is very useful. You use it when you only ostrich, oiled, and an orange owl today. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Painting pink pajamas, policeman in a pail, Peter Pepper's puppy, and now Papa's in the pail. See, I think they're both in the pail, but I guess they are. The cop's in the pail, policeman's in the pail, and so is Papa. Big R, little R, Rosie Robin Ross. Rosie's going riding on her red rhinoceros. Big S, little S, silly, Sammy, slick, sip 6 sodas and got sick, sick, sick. Have you ever done that out there in quarter hour land? Sip 6 sodas and got sick, sick, sick. I'm sure some of you have done beer. Some of you, not all of you. Big U, little U, what begins with U? Uncle Ub's umbrella and his underwear too. Big V, little V. Vera Violet Vin is very, very, very awful on her violin. Of course, this reminds me of somebody I know. I won't mention any names because I don't like doing that. I don't want to incriminate myself or incriminate that person. Wouldn't be a nice thing to do anyway. WWW. Willie Waterloo washes Warren Wiggins, who is washing Waldo Woo. X is very useful if your name is Nixie Knox. It also comes in handy spelling axe and an extra fox. Big Y, little Y, a yawning yellow yak. Anda Jorgensen is yelling on his back. Check that out. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Big Z, little Z. What begins with Z? There's a Z. I can think of the ZZs, but that's something different. What begins with Z? I do. I am a zizzer zazzer zuzz as plainly as you can plainly see. This is a zizzer zazzer zuzz. Kind of looks like something I ate last night that didn't agree with me. Let's see what we got here. One last. There we go. And that is it. That is the end of the storybook. And that was Dr. Seuss's ABC as read by yours truly. As I wind this show down for the year, this is the last one of the year for 2020. Want to say a couple other things before I go off tonight, or leave the airwaves here of Facebook Live. Something about resolutions. I know it's the New Year's, like basically on Thursday. It's Thursday night. I have a thing about resolutions. I try not to make any because they just kind of roll over to the last one. But I know everybody's had a tough year. I definitely know that. Everybody's had a really tough year. 2020 has not been a good year. I think it's been a lesson learner, barn burner lesson learner for some of us. Definitely for me. A lot of hard lessons. But it's been a really great year for me, too. Really great year. A lot of great things have happened for me personally and publicly, too. But whatever you do with resolutions, I would just want to advise you that making resolutions are sometimes silly. If you can stick to them, great. If you can't, don't hold yourself to that stuff. Also, it being the new year, I want to wish all of you a very happy, healthy, strong new year. Whatever that means to you. I really mean it sincerely from my soul. I honestly mean that to you. Each and every one of you, including all of you who are watching me, or those of you who aren't watching me, but I know that you're around somewhere. Um, anyway, um, so this is Sid Yiddish signing off. To you, well, I'll see you next week. Bearing anything else bad happens. Oh, must remind you, shows to watch. Whenever Dave Getchick does his show, the Puddinhead Press live show on Monday nights, whenever that is, from 7 o'clock Central, he usually does that. Dave Getchick. And Chicago guy, Chicago scenester, poetry guy. He's been around for a long, long time. He's one of those elder statesmen. I guess he could be one of those guys. Probably doesn't look at himself that way, but he is. And then there's Jimmy Potpourri's show. That's on Thursday nights. That goes on from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central, or 6 p.m. 7 p.m. That's Los Angeles time, or I think that's Pacific Mountain time. It goes, but anyway, that's about it. And I want to say to all of you, if you're in the evening, I want to say good evening to you. Have a great evening. It's out there in the Midwest who have to shovel out in the morning, and I wouldn't don't shovel out tonight. Just relax. It's going to get worse. Just relax. Sit inside and worry about it tomorrow morning, like the majority of us will. A lot of fear mongering going on right now with the weather. That's the great thing about weather in Chicago and the Chicago suburbs. People love. I guess it comes from being a certain age, and you hear about it all the time. And worrying about things is pretty silly, and it makes you grow pimples and gets you gray hair, silver hair a lot faster. So again, for those of you in the evening, I want to say have a good evening. And for those of you in the afternoon, good afternoon to you. And for those of you in the morning, like, say, folks in maybe Alaska. Oh, no. Sorry. No, not Alaska. My mistake. They're in the afternoon. For those of you like Russia and Australia and Denmark, Germany, Sweden, London, Paris, Rome, good morning to you. And again, I'll see you next week. Until then, I love you all. God bless, peace, and have a great, happy new year. See you soon. Bye for now.